Alright guys, so in today's YouTube video we're just going to be showing you guys a little trade recap that I did of one of the trades I took on my LUCID funded account, which I'm up over like I'd say $27,000, and I took a 3K payout already. So yeah, we'll get into the video with that and I'll show you guys my live LUCID account, whatever that's on. I took the same trade on my top step accounts as well, where I made like $12,000. And yeah, so this is one trade that I took on NQ where you guys saw I posted where I took the sells at, and then we'll get into the video now. For if you guys didn't see on my Instagram, this is the video I posted pretty much on my story. As you can see, I was in sales on my LUCID account, which is, you guys can see that pretty much I'm up 10K. And I eventually closed and showed my profit and stuff. So I'm just going to quickly show you guys my LUCID dashboard. I'm just showing you guys this because I can break down the trading. You guys know I took that trade and I made how I made this much money on my account. So you guys can see I'm refreshing real quick. So it shows my account balance is at 177, so I'm up $27,000. And I did take a 3K payout on Wednesday. So today I'm filming this, which is a Sunday. Last week I took it. For here, so it was 14K. I don't know if it hasn't updated yet or anything, but these are my winning days. Pretty much I had 14K on Friday. And in these days, I really didn't trade anything. I was just trying to hit the minimum 250 a day profit target, so it counts as a trading day. So pretty much it's Friday, like I swung a position because I liked it. And then last month, as you guys see, I had 2 big days. The day I got funded on LUCID, I made 11.6. My whole thing with doing this LUCID account was to hit 15K profit target goal, because I saw that after 5 payouts, they switch you to a live account. So in my head, I was doing the math. If I did 5 payouts times 3,000, that's 15K. So I need to make 15K to get pushed to live. So I did that. And then I'm like, you know what? They might push me over with the balance. So I'm just going to keep trading. Like I kept doing the 5 trading days. Then I had a good trade that set up. And I took the trade and I ended up making 14K that day. So yeah, I'll get into the video now on how I took this trade and why I took this trade. But I just wanted to show you guys a brief description. I did make 12K on Top Step. I took the same exact trade. So yeah, let's get into the video of why and how I took this trade. So pretty much we're looking at NQ. And pretty much on the overnight session, it just kept dropping. Like we saw this big drop happen. Then eventually I'm like, okay, it took out the lows on the left. I am on the 15-minute time frame. I like doing price action. And as you can see, like overall that we were bullish. And eventually, as soon as this price broke down, we made a new low right here. As you can see, we made a new low. That showed me that we're kind of bearish, but still I wasn't comfortable taking a trade because we ended up pushing up even a little bit further, taking out these lower highs. So I'm like, okay, we're kind of like consolidating. I'd say like we're in a range, going from up and down. Like we made a new low. Eventually we ended up making a little bit newer high. And this was on the 15-minute time frame, so it may not matter too much, but I usually like to do that hour. But I was watching NQ trying to find a trade. I didn't really like anything, and it ended up dumping close to London. And then I'm like, okay, it just made a new low. Right here, it ended up making a low. I'm going to erase these previous ones. So yeah, it made a low. I'm like, okay. Over here, it did the same thing where I ended up making a low. And then price eventually just shot up pretty much. Here, I'm like, okay, I'm going to see. It might do the same thing where it might shoot up again. But I didn't think it would happen because this is like going into pre-New York. We ended up like pretty much going up. And then I entered this position with a tight stop. I'm like, okay, it might drop. And then eventually it did start dropping. And as I woke, I went to sleep a little bit during this whole trade, pretty much. No, I was awake. So this isn't my entry, hold on. This profit target is on the wrong position. It's literally across. This is my entry. It's literally the same price. Yeah. So pretty much I ended up closing right here. This exactly is where I entered. It was basically from this blue rejection wick. I'm gonna move this out the way real quick, but basically this is my entry right here. So I saw this price. I'm like, okay, if it wants to go up, Here it kept fighting, fighting, fighting. And my stop loss was going to be tight regardless because we have a key level right above this price range, which is right here. Because if I go to the hour time frame, you can see how clean this is. Price rejects here, holds that support right here. As you can see, it's holding very strong. So I was going to use that as my stop, pretty much. And I had a bigger profit target. Like, it was going to be to this zone right here, but I ended up closing earlier. Just because I saw price starting to retrace a little bit. And I wanted to go back to sleep, to be honest. I woke up around like 7:30-ish, 8, I believe. Yeah, it's around that time. And then I saw price push up. So once it dumped, I closed. And then it ended up dumping more. And the problem is, NFP was at 8:30. And I closed like 15 minutes before. And I didn't want to get taken out of this position because I'm floating 10K profit. I either could have made way more or I could have lost everything. And I couldn't go break even because I was on TradingView and it fucking sucks. Trade Elevate sucks. Really can't place it unless you do it in the beginning. So I couldn't go break even. So I was like, I'm just going to secure the profit. But if I did held from NFP, price probably would have just kept going. But NFP is the most volatile session. So I didn't really want to trade that. So I closed 15 minutes before. And I ended up just dumping. I probably would have made a lot of money on my account, on the Lucid funded account. But yeah, I ended up closing just because NFP was there, so I didn't want to take that gamble. So pretty much why we took this trade, remember we made a new low. Price here started to reject, and then boom, we came here. Even here, I'm like, okay, we're not making a low, but we're still trying. We tried to push up. Buyers tried pushing up, and then we rejected, and I took the sell, and like I said, my stop was going to be pretty tight. It's going to be above these highs. And then worst case, I know that if price did come back up here, I could try shorting here. So I was going to give myself 2 tries on this trade. But I ended up just dumping from here. But I was going to either short from here and not miss it, or I was going to short from up here on this key level at 32.93 and short it from there. And then I was watching the hour time frame as well. Pretty much we saw price come here and then reject, and then rejected here again. I'm like, okay, this is showing that buyers might be strong here. But the selling that just happened previously where we took out these lows right here, I'm like, the sellers are still strong. It was just like, I think there's this minor pullback for a bigger drop, and that's what actually did end up happening. That we did a minor pullback, and then we ended up just melting all the way down. So I'm like, okay. And my whole mindset was before that London volume that they were selling, obviously they knew something was up. And then next thing you know, we have New York. Same thing happens, it just melts more. So yeah, I ended up making 10K on this trade, which is pretty sweet. And now on my Lucid account, I just have to trade 5 days, 250 minimum profit, and get my 3K payouts. So I basically secured 15K for the month from Lucid already. I have to make the $250 a day, and yeah. And then another thing on this trade that I saw was on the 5 minute. Like, it started to trend bullish a little bit on the 5 minute. And boom, we made this high. But soon as that high was made, it shot right back down like it was like a wick. And I'm like, okay, this is like the confirmation that where sellers might be strong here. So I took the short. We did come back a little bit of drawdown. And then prices ended up dumping pretty much. And then I closed up because NFP was approaching. I'm like, it was already showing a little bullish sign, so it might push up more or take me out and then dump. But I ended up just dumping clean. So yeah, that was a missed opportunity, but also did secure on this trade. So yeah, so sometimes you really can't get them all. Otherwise, there's like all the pips. So it's better to just secure some type of profit, especially in these markets where it's so volatile and crazy. It's good to secure something versus nothing. That's what I would tell you guys. And if you're already up money and like you don't know what's gonna happen, I'd say just secure it. So yeah, there's nothing better than waking up to profit. That's what happened to me. So yeah. That was a trade. Pretty much. It was pretty simple, straightforward. Nothing too crazy on this trade. I was just watching price action develop because we were trending bearish overall in the 1 hour. And I'm like, I'm just waiting for a pullback and then a drop. Usually that's what happens when we're in a bear market. But I think this is just temporary. I feel like we're going to start going up because today's Sunday, the day I'm recording this, and market is already making a recovery. Because Trump did say that we are going to have a peace deal signed either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. That's what he said, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. So you might see what happened in COVID where we had a V pullback pretty much, where price dumped and then literally just made a V comeback. I'm not saying that that's what might happen, but we already seeing heavy buying happen already, pulling up. So yeah, this week's gonna be interesting. What happens with the peace deal, what Iran does, whatever. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. Let me know if you have any questions about this trade, and I'll try answering them in the comments below. Thank you guys. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys join the live trading room where we do live trades. And I did call out this trade in the live trading room, especially on ES right here. I gave everyone levels that you guys want to short from. I'm pretty sure a couple people caught this trade. I pretty much give this gray zone out to where you guys want to short at on the live trading room. And a couple people did end up catching this trade, which is sweet. It moves the same as NQ, so sometimes I like looking at ES because ES gives you better price action, and then NQ usually follows ES. So sometimes I look at an ES chart or take an ES trade, or basically look at an ES chart and take an NQ trade, depending on volume or whatever. So yeah, that's another tip, is where you guys want to mark up ES if you don't see anything on NQ, and it does work. And pretty sure if you were in a live trading room, you would have caught this trade as well, because I sent everyone the setup, like this is where you want to short from or where you want to buy from, depending on what happens. And I saw a couple people in the live trading room catch this trade. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys join the live trading room. And yeah, thank you guys for watching.